Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. This time, we're all about money magic.
Ooh, money magic.
Yeah, we've got this really cool vintage magic manual,
Okay.
and it's all about the close-up stuff.
Yeah.
Not the big stage illusions.
All right.
We're talking sleight of hand, making money disappear, the kind of stuff that makes you wonder if you actually saw what just happened.
Yeah, and it's been around for ages. There's just something about money magic that's always captivated audiences. I
Sure.
think because it's something we use every single day, right?
Right, exactly.
But, it's not just about quick fingers, although that definitely helps.
Right, of course. What else is there? What's the secret?
This manual and this whole tradition really, it emphasizes the psychology of deception.
Ooh, okay, I like where this is going. Tell me more.
So think misdirection, building suspense, really understanding how people's expectations work.
It's like you're playing with their minds almost.
Exactly. That's the real trick. You create this moment where the impossible suddenly becomes believable.
That's so true. It's like if you go into something expecting to be amazed, you're already halfway there.
Absolutely. And you know what? This manual, it starts with a quote that really gets at this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it says, and I'm paraphrasing a bit here, but it says, "The real secret is in the presentation. Anyone can learn a few moves, but creating a genuine illusion is about making it believable."
Okay, so presentation is key. Got it. But what does that actually look like in money magic?
Let me put it this way. Imagine a magician just shows you a simple card trick,
Right.
just like that.
Yeah.
Now imagine that same trick, but they're weaving this whole story around it.
Building the anticipation.
Yeah, building anticipation with every step. Which one do you think is going to have a bigger impact?
Oh, definitely the one with a story.
Exactly.
You're like, It's like the difference between reading a recipe and watching, a real chef bring that dish to life.
Exactly. And so with money magic, the way you handle the bills, your demeanor, all of it, it all plays into that illusion.
So it's a whole performance.
Exactly. It's a performance. And this manual, it dives deep into all those finer points.
Okay, well, I am ready to dive deep.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. What kind of secrets does this manual reveal? What's like the first thing we need to know? I am ready to make some money disappear, or at least make it look like I can.
Well, one of the most basic techniques, and this manual spends a lot of time on this, is the switch.
The switch. Okay, so like swapping one bill for another
Wow.
without anyone seeing.
Exactly. And honestly, it's way harder than it sounds. One little slip up and the whole illusion falls apart.
Oh, for sure. It's all about precision.
Totally.
Yeah.
But when it's done right, it's like pure magic.
I bet. So how do they do it? How do you make that switch so smoothly that no one suspects a thing?
Well, this manual goes through a whole bunch of different switches, each with their own, like little variations and subtleties.
Oh, wow. So many ways to do it.
Yeah, but there's this one, it's called the Baker switch. I think it's on page 11 if you're following along at home. And it really shows how, like, sometimes the most effective methods are the simplest.
Ooh, I love that.
Mm.
Ingenious simplicity. So what's the Baker switch all about?
Okay, so picture this. The magician, they've already got a bill, right? But it's folded up in a specific way, kind of hidden in their hand.
Sneaky. I like it.
Right, and then they ask to borrow a bill from the audience. And here's the thing.
Okay, this is where it gets good.
They handle both of those bills as if they were just one,
Whoa.
using these really subtle folds and movements to make the switch without anyone noticing.
So it's all about timing.
Timing is everything. You've got to create this seamless flow so the audience doesn't even realize what just happened.
It's like a secret handshake, but with money, and then boom, the original bill is gone.
Exactly. Now, switching is really just one part of money magic, right? This manual also gets into vanishing acts.
Ooh, even better. Making things completely disappear.
Yeah, and there's this one vanish that uses the most ordinary things. You'd never even think twice.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. What is it? What do you need?
We're talking a plain old envelope, a little bit of flash paper,
Yeah.
the stuff that burns up instantly,
Uh-huh.
and a matchbox.
That's it. That's like stuff you find in your junk drawer.
I know, right? But here's the thing. On page 18, it describes how to use these everyday objects to create layers of misdirection.
Okay, so how does it work?
So the audience sees these familiar things, right? And their brains try to follow along. But by the time that flash paper goes off, poof, the bill is gone.
That's wild. So it's like you're distracting them with the ordinary so they don't even see the extraordinary happening right in front of them.
Exactly. Now, speaking of keeping people on their toes, this manual also has a whole section on impromptu tricks with bills. Little bits of magic you can do anywhere.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
Always be prepared, right? Do you have a favorite from that section?
Let me see. Oh, there's just one called The Shrinking Dollar. It's on page 20. I always thought it was really clever. It kind of plays on this, like shared anxiety we all have.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more about this shrinking dollar. What's the anxiety about?
Well, so you start with the dollar bill, pretty straightforward.
Makes sense.
But then through a few folds and a bit of, showmanship, you actually make it look like it's shrinking right in front of them.
No way. Visibly shrinking. That's amazing.
Yeah. It plays on that fear of like inflation,
Yeah.
the value of money going down.
Oh, right. Yeah, especially these days. Everyone's worried about that. It's like the trick is almost a commentary on the economy.
Exactly. It's funny, it's relatable, and just a little bit unnerving at the same time.
It's like it's more than just a trick at that point. It's like social commentary.
Right.
Ah.
And this whole manual is full of those kinds of little insights.
Going through all these tricks, it's like this manual is a time capsule.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about the magic, right? It's like a glimpse into what people were thinking about back then.
Absolutely. It shows how adaptable magic can be.
Totally.
A good magician can take something simple, like a dollar bill, and make it mean something to the audience, no matter what's going on in the world.
So true. The techniques might say the same, but it's how you present them that keeps things interesting. Speaking of presentation, I notice our author likes to use some interesting props with those bills.
Interesting how.
Well, we've got cigarettes, lemons, even bananas.
Ah, yes. The old bill and banana trick, a classic.
Right, it's a whole food basket of magic. But why those combinations? Is there a reason? Or is it just for show?
Oh, there's a method to the madness. Those pairings, they actually make the illusion even stronger.
Really? How so?
Think about it. Seeing a bill disappear from a hand? That's cool, right? But what if that same bill vanished from inside a sealed pack of cigarettes?
Okay, yeah, that's way more impressive.
Right. It's about using those everyday objects, things we don't associate with magic, to make the impossible even more unbelievable.
Because our brains just can't compute it, right? Like, that's my morning coffee. You can't just make it disappear.
Exactly. It adds that extra layer of, wait, how is that even possible?
This deep dive has been amazing. I feel like I've learned so much, not just about the tricks themselves, but like the psychology behind it all.
It really makes you appreciate the art of magic, doesn't it? It's not just about the technical skill.
Not at all. So for anyone listening who wants to try this at home, where should they start? Any advice?
Honestly, I'd say just start by observing.
Observing.
Yeah. Pay attention to the world around you. Notice how light hits things, how people move their hands, little details that most people miss.
Because those are the details that magicians use, right?
Yeah.
To create the illusion.
Exactly. You might be surprised by the magic you find in everyday life.
That's such a great point to end on. Start seeing the world like a magician. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. We'll see you next time for more adventures in the world of illusion and wonder.